Genesis 18. The Lord appears to Abraham, verses 1 to 8. As Abraham sits at the entrance of his tent during the heat of the day, he suddenly sees three men standing nearby. Recognizing that this is a divine encounter, one of the visitors being the Lord himself, Abraham runs to greet them. He bows low in reverence and offers water, rest, and a meal. With urgency and generosity, he instructs Sarah to bake bread and a servant to prepare a tender calf. This part of the chapter showcases Abraham's hospitality, which in biblical culture is a mark of righteousness. It also subtly introduces theophany, God appearing in human form. The promise of a son reaffirmed, verses 9 to 15. As they eat, the visitors ask, "Where is Sarah, your wife?" When Abraham replies she is in the tent, one of them, clearly the Lord, says, "I will surely return to you about this time next year, and Sarah, your wife, shall have a son." Sarah hears this from within the tent and laughs to herself. At nearly 90 years old, and Abraham nearly 100, the idea of having a child seems impossible. But God hears her laughter and confronts her, saying, "Why did Sarah laugh? Is anything too hard for the Lord?" Sarah, frightened, denies laughing, but the Lord gently corrects her. This scene highlights both human doubt and God's sovereign power. It reinforces the idea that God keeps his promises even when they seem humanly impossible. Abraham intercedes for Sodom, verses 16 to 33. As the visitors prepare to leave for Sodom, the Lord reflects, "Shall I hide from Abraham what I am about to do?" He decides to reveal that he will investigate the grave sin of Sodom and Gomorrah, for their outcry is very great. Moved by compassion, Abraham boldly intercedes for the people of Sodom. He pleads with God not to destroy the righteous along with the wicked. In a remarkable dialogue, Abraham asks if the city would be spared for 50 righteous people. God agrees. Abraham continues negotiating 45, 40, 30, 20, and finally 10 righteous people. God responds graciously each time, agreeing to spare the city if even 10 are found. This interaction is one of the most powerful examples of intercessory prayer in the Bible. It reveals God's willingness to listen, his justice in dealing with sin, his mercy toward the innocent, Abraham's growing intimacy and boldness in his relationship with God. Genesis 18. The Lord appears to Abraham, verses 1 to 8. As Abraham sits at the entrance of his tent during the heat of the day, he suddenly sees three men standing nearby. Recognizing that this is a divine encounter, one of the visitors being the Lord himself, Abraham